Hello, welcome back to the channel, friends. If you're new here, I am Zach. I am a former corporate employee turned full-time freelancer on the platform Upwork.com, where I've proudly earned over $500,000 and am now charging my clients an upwards of $150 an hour. I want to talk about earning your first contract on Upwork. Now, this is where people generally fall off of the freelancing platform because they try and they try and they try for days or weeks, and they just can't land that first contract and they kind of lose hope and give up. So I want to share some of the tips and tricks that I've used at the very beginning and some of the things that I still use today on all my proposals to clients about winning those jobs. And so let's talk about these things, all right? Step one, finding the right job. Not every job on Upwork is one that you're going to want to bid on. What might be surprising is that sometimes clients will post a job, are really excited about it, and then completely forget about it to never address that job ever again. The other route is there are clients that post a job, they give really good detail and they're really excited about hiring somebody, and you can even get hired within an hour of them posting that job, okay? So there are a couple things that you want to look for when you are bidding on jobs, because bidding on a job does technically cost you money. They're called connects in Upwork, and you have to purchase connects from Upwork and use those connects as like kind of a transactional like token in order to bid on a job. So there are a couple things that you can look out for so that you're not wasting your connects on these bullshit jobs that won't even get any traction anyway. So a couple of things you want to look for. On the job posting on here, as you'll see, there's a payment method verified, a job history, and then there's also the option of getting invited to a job. So when a client publishes a job, they have the option of just making it completely public, or they can make it public and they can invite specific freelancers to apply to that job because they saw your profile and they want to invite you to it. Or they'll just do invitation only. So they'll post a job, but only the people that they invite will be able to apply for that particular project. Okay, so those are some of the things that you can look for, where if their payment method is verified, they have a job history, and or if you've got an invitation to that job, then that's generally one that you can bid on, and you can have confidence that the client is actually serious about that particular project. Okay, step two. So you found the job that you're interested in applying for. You click on the job. There are a couple things that must be done in your cover letter for it to be, I would say, complete. And this is my opinion. You can have a different opinion. This is my opinion, and this is kind of the format that I've followed in order to have this kind of success. The must-haves. You need to somewhat introduce yourself. It could be something as simple as, hello, my name is Zach George. I see that you're looking for some Excel VBA assistance. And then I generally go into some sort of like small thing that gives me credit or value. So in my case, I've earned the Upwork or the expert vetted badge on Upwork. So in my proposal, I'll say, I've proudly earned the expert vetted badge on Upwork, which puts me in the top 1% of all freelancers. And I'd love to see how my skills can help you in your project. Now, I understand if you're a new freelancer, you won't have those kind of accolades. And so you need to prove to the client why your experience or why some of the projects that you've completed in the past make you perfect for that particular job. So it's all about proving yourself. So after you've introduced yourself in your cover letter, you'll want to specifically respond to the project itself, the client's project tasks or objectives or deliverables directly, so that the client knows that you've read the job. So let's look at a job together, and I'll kind of go through the process that I go through in my head when I'm writing my cover letter, okay? So in this job that you see, there are some key takeaways. It's a short job description, but you can kind of derive what they're after here. Okay, so some of the key takeaways, they have 3 spreadsheets that they need help with. There's a manual data entry process in this, so there may be areas where you could implement VBA to automate some of those specific processes. They want to analyze their data, so ask questions on if there are specific areas that they want to analyze. It's always good when you ask a client a question about their particular job that they haven't already addressed in the job description. It's important to ask those jobs because it kind of shows your interest. It shows that you're understanding the project and shows that you are invested in completing this project for them. Okay, and then the fourth key takeaway here is they need some sort of dashboard or report at the end of this to summarize the data in all these Excel spreadsheets. Okay, those are the four key takeaways from this job description that I saw immediately. Okay, so you've read the description, you understand what they're asking, it fits your skill set. So let's go ahead and write this proposal together. So we'll start it out with our introduction. Hello, my name is Zach George, and it looks like you're needing some expert level Excel VBA assistance. I've proudly earned the expert vetted badge for my outstanding work in Excel VBA and would love to showcase my talents here in your project. Okay, short, straight to the point. What's my name? What are my accolades? Why have I proved myself to be able to apply for this job and show you that I can do it? Okay. Now again, the expert vetted badge is something that I've earned. You might not be able to use that in your proposal, so you have to come up with something else in your past, your job performance, your recent employment that would show you that you do have the skill set to complete this project. The next portion of the proposal, or the cover letter I should say, is going down into the nitty-gritty about what they're asking for specifically. Okay, now that you've written your cover letter, you've submitted your proposal, you kind of just got to wait at that point. There's nothing you can do. You can't reach out to the client again and say, hey, I've also wanted to add this. I want to do this. You get one shot, one cover letter, you send that proposal, and then you just wait. Okay. So that's the important part, getting that proposal out there, continuing to do that. Just continue to go through the job board, find jobs that fit your skill set, and just write those proposals just like that, send them off, and then the best that you can do is just wait from that point on. The next process is when your proposal gets viewed by the client and they love what you had written, you had proven yourself to the client that you can complete the work, they will send you a message, and it's generally like, hello, I would love to work with you, blah, 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 blah. Could be whatever. So now you're in the next phase. So phase one, write your proposals. Phase two is get that message from the client. So once you get that message from the client, act immediately. I've found that the most success that I have, or the jobs that I get the most, are when I'm really reactive to the client's first couple messages. So if the client has messaged you and it takes you a day, let's say it takes you a day to get back to them, that means they've had 24 hours to message other freelancers and figure out somebody else that could complete that work for them. So what I like to do is, as soon as I get a message from the client, either I'm on my computer or I'm on my phone and I'm looking at Upwork, I'll respond immediately to them. It could be, answering a question that they have, or it could be something about, scheduling a meeting. But you want to be quick, and thank you for reaching out. I would love to set up a call, something along those lines. Now, I know it's scary, but the most valuable, and I think the most chance for success, is if you can get that client on a call. If you're able to schedule a Zoom meeting, a Teams meeting, whatever it is, and you can actually have a conversation with them face-to-face virtually, I have found that the most success when I am able to get those clients on a call. It allows you to kind of, be personable, show interest in who they are, what their business is, the project that they're doing. Truly, they don't know who the hell you are. They're like, just some guy from Cincinnati says he can complete my work. Well, if I can get him on the phone and I can talk to him about his day, I can talk to him about where he's from, and just have a real good, normal conversation with a stranger, that kind of builds that trust a little bit more with them. So that's always a good idea. If you can, get them on the phone. I know it's scary, but you got to try it. So during the interview, what I like to do is typically just introduce myself. Hi, my name is Zach George. Thank you so much for reaching out. I'm really excited about your project. And then they'll generally ask you, what's your experience like? How long have you been on Upwork? What kind of projects have you completed like this in the past? And, just general interview questions. So to recap, try to get your clients on the phone if you can. I know it's a little bit daunting, but if you can get those clients on the phone and speak to them like a normal person, make sure that you understand the project requirements clearly. Make sure they have trust in you that you can complete the work. then you guys will have much greater success in landing those contracts after you can get somebody on the phone. A couple of things I want you guys to be aware of. Now, there are lots of good clients out on Upwork.com, and there are some bad clients on Upwork.com. Upwork does do a great job at flagging those clients and getting them off the platform as quick as possible, but just be aware that those people do exist. So what can happen is, let's say you're messaging a client about a potential project, you guys are passing back requirements, chatting back and forth, or you're on a call, you're in an interview with them, and what they'll do is sometimes they'll try to get free work out of you, or try to get the answer to a question that they were trying to hire somebody to do without actually hiring you or paying you to do that job. So something you need to look out for is the types of questions that they ask and how specific the answer is that they're looking for. So for example, we all know Microsoft Excel. So let's say, for example, they have a complex index match formula that they just can't solve, and they're trying to pay somebody $50 to solve this simple problem. So they go out there and they'll publish a job, they'll get on a call with you, or they'll just be messaging you, and they'll say, hey, and before a contract has gotten sent to you, they'll say, hey, how do you plan on solving this problem? What formula would you use? And sadly, I'm speaking from experience because I fell prey to this. This was in my early days of Upwork. Didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to get as much business as I could. So he said, hey, what formula would you use to solve this before I hire you? And I didn't think. And so I just gave him the formula, and I didn't hear anything from him. That was it. Gave him the formula. There was ghost from there. He got his answer and he moved on. And so what I learned from that, and what I'm hoping I could teach you guys before you fall prey to that, is make sure you're not giving away your secrets. You have valuable knowledge that people are willing to hire you for. So don't be afraid to tell a client, this is what you're paying me to do. I'm not going to give you the answer, but if you send me the contract, I'll gladly complete this work for you. That's typically how a conversation goes when I see a client trying to fish information out of me. Okay? So that's the one thing you need to be aware of. The next thing you want to be aware of, and this is really hard to grasp and hard to turn down, because some clients will promise the world, but they're not going to give you anything. So sometimes they'll say, hey, I got this giant Excel project, but I want to make sure that you are the right person for this job before I hire you. Can you complete this test to prove that you can complete this work? And so what they're asking you to do is take an Excel document, which is the project itself, build the thing that they're calling a test, send it back to them, and then they're telling you that if the test goes well, they'll hire you for another project, which is bullshit. They are trying to get you to complete that test, which is the actual work, give it back to them, and then again, it's going to be lights out, ghost. You'll never hear from the client again. So those are just two things I want you to be aware of that I have fallen prey to. Many others have fallen prey to. Just want you guys to not do the same thing that I did. Don't waste your time and money and your knowledge on these clients that don't have any intention of hiring you in the first place. So thank you guys again for joining. I hope what I provided today was some sort of value in how you guys can get started in your freelance career, how to write those proposals, write those cover letters, how to conduct an interview properly, which clients you should stay away from and which ones you should be aware of, and some of the key things that you should be looking for before you even bid on a job. So thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.